All right, Terry. I'm a mute. If everybody can mute, because I'm gonna do this early with them, and then we'll get back to our schedule. What we do.
Oh, okay. Because I said it. I didn't want to discourage anybody by putting it in the message. I would just wait till whoever got on.
But
And
no, because it's at one. So and it's recording now, so I don't want to talk too much because it's already being live. I just announce it when people jump on what's happening.
okay,
I'm going on mute till you get on.
okay, all right.
All right, everyone. Your host, Cy Smith, coming to you on a Friday, Green Friday. Every Friday is Love Our Senior Citizens Day. And so we want to make certain that we always make people aware that we're showing love to the elders. This is the seniors call, so I was able to get Terry Graham's green light to let us Bogart on the call and do this interview with Mr. Cartwright. And so we're going to do this interview with him, open it up at the tail end so you guys can ask any questions. And then if he chooses, he can, go back to his day. Or if not, we're just going to get on with our regularly scheduled senior call. Let me cut this off here. All right, Reverend Taylor, you're on, right, Reverend Taylor?
Yeah, but I'm getting feedback. Talking the same thing over.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
we
let's
get
fix that.
bad feedback.
Everyone, if y'all can mute, because it's just going to be Mr. Cartwright and I interview, and then we'll bring you on so you can do your introductions at the tail end. If you do that, let's see if the muting, if the echo stops. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, that didn't do it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, that did it. So we're good to go now. All right, so again, to all my elders, please excuse this interruption, but it's a worthy interruption. Reverend Taylor and Brother Sam Smith, who's both on as well, they introduced me to Mr. Bill Cartwright. You guys know playing with Michael Jordan here for the Chicago Bulls. So it's an honor to have him jump on. He's going to be here next Wednesday, which is the purpose of this interview, is so we can get as many people in Chicago to come out and buy his book. He wrote an autobiography, and I got some pictures I'm going to be posting so you guys can see how we did before with the African American book. So we're going to do this as a video to introduce him to what we do, and then to let everyone know to please come out and support this African American Black man who's wrote this book. I believe we're going to have time to get some questions in, just so he'll know the network, what we have, so that way he'll know who he's coordinating with. Bill Taylor, are you able to come off of mute and introduce Sam before Bill gets on?
Yes,
Reverend
sir.
Taylor? Excellent. Oh, it sounds like somebody calling you while I'm talking to you.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so Reverend Taylor, introduce Sam. So the audience would know we are on live, we're on YouTube. So just know everything you're saying, the world will hear it. So go ahead.
All right. Well, I met Sam Hill through our cordial friend Stanley Brown, and then from Stanley Brown to Sad Smith, we all had a four-way conversation with Bill Cartwright, and this is an honor to be able to have Sad to introduce him to the seniors this afternoon. So at this point, if Bill Cartwright's there, we can turn around and let Sad take it from that point on.
Wait, actually, I want to talk to Sam Hill. Sam Hill, you able to speak real briefly? And Reverend Taylor, if you could go ahead and give Bill Cartwright a call and let him know I emailed him on both platforms, so he'll have it.
Okay.
Mr.
Yes, I'm
Sam,
here.
how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, you on with the elders, man. You know the elders are the faithful warriors. So welcome to the
Yes, sir.
elder senior call.
Hey, it's my pleasure to be on this call.
Sam, a little bit about yourself while we're waiting on Mr. Cartwright to get on. Where you grew up at, where you come from?
Okay, hey, I'm a Northside kid. I grew up in the Uptown community around Broadway and Wilson Avenue. Former high school basketball All-American. Played at Amundsen High School. Then I went on to play at Iowa State University. Had a great college career there. Then got drafted by Dallas Mavericks. Had a cup of coffee, so to speak. Then I played in Europe. But basketball is what I did. It's not who I am. I'm also former executive director for Boys and Girls Club in Michigan City, Indiana. My wife and I, we currently have two companies or agencies. We have a behavioral health agency, a licensed behavioral health agency, where we deal with mental health, substance abuse, domestic violence, stabilization programs, and we also have a youth organization called Sam Hill Shoot Your Best Shot, and we provide leadership development programs, community engagement, things of that nature. And our office for Kirby Rehabilitation, that's the name of it, named after my wife, Leah Kirby Hill.
I was going to ask you that. I saw it. I'm glad you told us. I was sure going to ask you where did the name come from. Okay.
Yeah. That's my wife's name. We've been in existence for over 25 years, and
Wow.
we're 111th Street, right next to Roseland Hospital. So, we just try to provide some programs and services for the community, and it's very much needed.
Now, if you don't mind, how did you and Bill Cartwright connect?
You know what? I met Bill through a mutual friend of ours who's deceased now. His name was Chaw Hall, who worked for CETA. He was a upper management guy working for CETA. And he said, he told me, he said, Sam, I'm gonna have Bill Cartwright and you at this basketball clinic at Hillcrest High School, and I want you guys to meet. And the funny story, and when Bill get on, he'll probably tell you about it. But the funny story, how it goes, I met Bill, and the kids were running all over the place. And Bill told me, he said, I'm gonna do my best Bill Cartwright impersonation.
Now he's on now, so be careful. He's gonna hear you.
Oh yeah, I want to hear it. He said, hey Sam, hey, you got a whistle? I was like, man, it's in the car. He's like, hey, you supposed to have a whistle to get these kids in order. I said, watch this, Bill. And my voice carries, and I got a real loud voice. And so I said, everybody get in the circle within 10 seconds. And I started yelling and screaming, and they all got in the circle. And Bill's like, hey, I like you. And me and Bill has been cool ever since. It's been an honor to call Bill Cartwright one of my best friends. That's my man. And plus, he's got great food at his restaurant. Ain't that right, Bill? Is he on? I saw his face. I don't know if he can hear me. But no.
Let's make sure he might be. Yeah, there you go. He's on now.
Bill, is that you, man?
There we go.
See?
That's crazy. This Bill Cartwright live. There he is.
Hey, Bill,
that's cool.
Man, back in the day.
What's that?
I was just telling the guys how we met at Hillcrest back in the day. And we've been cool ever since, especially when you come in town and I get to eat for free at your restaurant.
Yeah, see, that's lucky I only come in once a month. If you were here,
I know,
right?
So Mr. Cartwright, if you don't mind, I'm going to mute everyone, and then if you can just unmute yourself, because we're going to spend this top portion of the interview just you and I talking about what's coming up and why you're doing it. And then if you have time, we want to let our audience, our superstars, be able to ask you some of the questions that may come from our interview. You okay with that?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep, but I'm about to mute everyone, so then you could just unmute. Okay, so I muted everyone, so Ms. Cartwright, you could just unmute and then we can get started. Yeah, you're still muted now, so just hit that microphone and we'll be ready to go. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, first and foremost, as Sam said, it is an honor to do this interview with you. When we first talked on the phone, I told you gave me years of excitement with the Chicago Bulls. That was a beautiful time. So it's an honor to be on here with you. If you don't mind, just give us your view on like how you was raised, and then that'll get into what we're gonna be doing next Wednesday.
Well, I'm from California. I grew up really in the country. My dad was a farm laborer, so I just learned how to work really hard. I loved sports growing up. Typical kid, baseball, basketball, football. And I was just very fortunate when I was a kid, when I was in high school. I had a really good, strong high school coach, demanding. And, it really put you through your paces, and more was always better. So we always felt like we worked harder, we shot more shots, we played more than anybody. And consequently, I was really kickstarted by that because I was with a great group of guys. We ended up being a championship team by the time I was a junior in high school. We were undefeated, 30-0. When I was a senior, we won the Northern California Championship. So that kicked me off to college.
Now, were you as tall as a child? Because they have you at 7'1". So were you that tall growing up?
See, that's always a weird question, man, because and Sam will probably agree with us, is that are we really tall, or is it the other way around? The other folks around us are just abnormally short. And that's how I kind of view that, because my height is normal for me. So it wasn't normal for a lot of people. I remember when I was in the 6th grade, I was 6 foot tall. I was as tall as the teachers. Consequently, that was the last year of trick-or-treating for me when I was in the 6th grade, because people started to look at me funny when I wanted candy. I'm like, they're like, hey, you want candy? I'm like, yeah, I'm a kid. I'm 12 years old. Give me some candy. So, but yeah, I've always been tall as a kid, and so's my entire family. So this is normal to me.
Now, what about your parents, mom and dad?
My dad's about 6'3". My mom's about 5'8". But my dad's the tallest in his family. But my mom's dad, or my grandfather, was 6'8". And also, if their side of the family, they've got big people. And so I got the height, and my cousins, they're huge, burly guys. So we've got height and size on my mom's side of the family.
Now are you the only child?
Oh no, I've got 6 siblings, all gals. I have no brothers, and I have 3 older sisters and 3 younger sisters. So
Wow.
that's why I'm a sports guy. That encouraged me to get out of the house.
Well, you was the protector, I bet, being as tall as you were. Whoever they were trying to date probably didn't want to mess with you.
Well, my sisters are all tall. I know where they can take care of themselves.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. Yeah, excellent. Now, and if, so next Wednesday you're coming in town. What's the occasion?
well, the occasion is, we're going to do some events. We're going to talk about my book, Bill Cartwright, Living Life at the Center. Actually started during the pandemic. Me and my wife decided to do our autobiography, or mine. And it was great because it gave me an opportunity to reflect on my parents, of their journey, which was amazing. How we grew up in the country, moving to South Sac, meeting great people, great coaches, being really led to USF and throughout my entire NBA career. So, it's just a great story about what is possible because a lot of kids come from this. Look, we didn't have a lot growing up, but it's just about what's possible.
That's right.
It's it was just a really fun story to tell. And my sisters get a piece of it, my friends get a piece of it, high school, college, NBA. So it was great fun. I am happy it's over. And now it's time to talk about it. Bill
That's
Cartwright,
right.
living life at the center.
Now let's talk about your wife though. What did she do? Her profession?
My wife has had probably her last profession was being a realtor, but I do have 4 kids, and just getting them, and they were all very busy in their schoolwork. They were all athletes, so just getting them fed out the door and to their activities back and forth. That's a 24/7 job. So I don't want that job.
Yep. No. My wife is watching this too, so she can attest to what it's like when you got a spouse that's all over the place. So kudos to her for that.
Yes. Yes.
Now, Chicago, what's your connection with the city outside? Like when you came to the Bulls, was that your first time in Chicago?
It was my first time spending time in Chicago. I always liked Chicago as a player. I played for the Knicks for 9 years. But coming to Chicago, I mean, everybody knows, White Sox, Cubs, Bears, of course, those kind of rivalries. And Chicago Bulls have always been noted for having really tough, gritty players. When I was in the league, when I first got there, Artis Gilmore was there, who was a beast, great guy. But, when you come from that kind of foundation with Jerry Sloan and that group that was in there of just toughness and grit. That's what Chicago's always been known for. So once I got there, I was really pleased to be there. We had a great cast of young guys, and I can't emphasize that enough. They were young guys because I was the old guy, and I think I was 31. So that tells you how young that team was. And I was fortunate to be part of Doug Collins was our head coach. Then Phil came in. Jerry Krause was the GM. Jerry Reinsdorf was the owner. And their goal was to win a championship. And after being in New York for 9 years, I was ready. So we had great role players. We happen to have the best player in the league with Michael. But we had a great cast of players on that team that were willing to play a role. Luckily, that led to a championship. But it did take 3 years.
Yeah, but we saw it coming though, especially with the Detroit era. We saw it building. We saw it ascending that way.
Yeah, Detroit. It took us 2 years to overcome the dreaded Detroit Pistons. But look, you look at it this way: is that the Pistons really get credit for us winning 4 straight championships because after we were able to get past them, we took off.
No one else. Yeah.
So, a lot of people talk about the Pistons, oh, they were dirty, whatever, but they really showed us the way, and we should have a lot of appreciation for those guys because after we beat them, never heard from them again.
Yeah. Well, it's something that's quite right because during those times in the 90s, Chicago needed that. You remember the crack epidemic was terrorizing all our cities. And the organization that we founded is centered around making all of our urban zip codes safer. And so I remember during that time, that brought everyone together. The different street tribes was together during those championship years. It was, I want to venture to say it was no shooting except celebratory at each other during the championships times. But I just thank you for that. And just so I wanted to show you some pictures here so you can see what we've done in the past with our network. We have 20 zip codes, and every zip code has a governor, and that governor is linked to a different city. So it's 20 different cities here. And these are the pictures of a book that we supported nationwide. This was the African American Historical News Journal. And I'm going to show you just a few of them, but our leaders here are from all over the country. So Birmingham bought the books, LA, we had San Diego. And so we headquartered in Chicago, of course. So, of course, Chicago bought the book. This is Brother Baba in Atlanta, Georgia. He got that shop behind there. So he's a big proponent. So we want to make sure you as a Black man that we do all we can to make sure people know, you gave us all those years of service. So you being a Black man, we want to support you and make sure we're supporting this book that God allowed you to put together. So unless you have anything else, Mr. Cartwright, I'm going to, if you don't mind, I want to bring on and introduce our leaders that we have. This is their senior call we do every Friday. So I asked them to let me do this interview with you so we can get this on YouTube and then we can send it out before you get here next Wednesday. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we open that up for them?
I think we're ready to rock and roll.
All right.
I'm very curious.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let me bring my wife up. Jamaica, you want to go first? How do you feel what you heard about Mr. Cartwright's journey?
No, I think it's amazing and it's inspirational, especially for young people. Cy and I, we co-facilitated a workshop for sixth graders at the art center that I'm at, and it was 43 young people, 43 different, personalities, 43 career goals, things that they want to inspire to become. And I think only one young person said that they wanted to, get into sports like baseball. And I'm thinking, but I think like our elders, the wisdom, you know, it's so important that that gap is filled, And I think the gentleman before, he said that he does like a lot of youth organization, community and community engagement, and it's just so needed, right? And we're going to be doing like some reading in a garden this year. I have a friend of ours here in Gary, and they maintain this garden. And I suggested that they do like, bring the community together to do some reading and reading in the garden. And it just so happens that every second Wednesday of the month from 6 to 8, that's what we're going to do. And I don't know, it would be awesome for your book to be a part of that reading, maybe. It's just a thought.
No, we got you, baby. Bill, any response, Bill? We let Terry come up next.
I think the big thing is that everybody has their own journey. And I think that during the course of that journey, look, when you're a kid, you're special. Mom takes care of you, people carry you around. And then as you get older, I think people lose that feeling that they're special and they can accomplish something. And, for me, when I went to the University of San Francisco, I had an awakening because I grew up in a really farm area, and only people knew then is that you could work. You can work, you can go to junior college, you can work. You can go to Sac State, you can go to work. When I went to USF, you know what I found out? I found out through watching and listening to these people, and they were just regular students, little guys. They were just little bitty guys. And you know what they were talking about? Being a CEO of a company, having their own business. So it was an awakening. And I thought, these guys, are you kidding me? These guys could be a CEO. These guys are going to have their own business. I thought if these guys can do that, I certainly can. But I think that what happens is that for a lot of people, a lot of young people, they never hear that. They never hear that there's that possibility that they can work for themselves and stop working for other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No.
when they have that kind of education, and especially when they learn about money and the importance of it, not that they have to dwell on that,
Right.
but that is something that we don't do in our society, period, which is insane. To even have a bank account, to even understand the value of saving money, saving for a rainy day, stop buying unnecessary things.
Oh, you already know, yes.
Yes. So just to have that mindset, I think it's really important to young people to have and to be able to bring in from those who have had that journey. And that's why mentors are so important.
Now we Terry Grandma, can you come off of mute? This is our leader of the senior citizens call every Friday is Love Senior Citizens Day. So this is our leader that she makes sure our Mississippi seniors get on. We got Georgia, my mother-in-law, on. So Terry, what you thought about this interview with Mr. Cartwright?
Wow. Mr. Cartwright, you make me more excited about loving on our children.
Absolutely.
That's truly what I believe in. So Brother Sai and I call his wife Mimi. They know how excited I am about the youth. And even with me being a senior, I still do my part. And usually we introduce ourselves into see before we leave this earth. And that's the love and respect that was better than it was when I was growing up. And also, the Holy Spirit gave to me years ago, and I know why now, is that my child is your child, and your child is my child. So with all of us together, we're touching children, and we're touching children that we don't even know. So I'm just excited, and I will definitely
we have to change our location to this because.
All right, we got you, Terry. So, Mr. Carter, I know we kept you long, so if you got to go, that's fine. We got it captured, so we got the actual YouTube link. I'll send that to you too.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, Joe, did you want to say something, Mr. Cartwright, before Mr. Cartwright left? Joe, you might be on mute. You got to unmute.
No, I'm not muted.
Now, Joe Murrows, you there?
Okay, yeah.
There, Joe.
Hey, how you doing, young man? It's a pleasure. It was truly a pleasure. I was one of the fans when you guys played Everything Shut Down, and we go in the house from leave the court and go in the house. But at the end of the day, brother, I would definitely love to meet you when you come to the city. And for what I've been doing since 2006 is feeding the youth 1 to 13 free. Anybody over 13 gives a donation. So what I've done was I was bringing sports with it, and Cy can contest that they shut that down because I had too many people at the end of the day on a Saturday. And what I'm looking to do now is I want to do the rivals of King, CBS. I want to do all the rival schools again, and I want the older guys to bring their children out. So we'll definitely be connecting with you guys to try to figure out how we can start this in all 20 zip codes.
Joe, thank you for that. And awesome. Mr. Cartwright, the way we see it, Mr. Cartwright, we wanted to make certain that the book, of course, we're going to be there to support it. We got to get a location. So if Bill Taylor, you can come back on and give us the location. But we look at long term, supporting you and hopefully being in partnership with you, because with the zip codes that we have, the 20 U.S. cities, we're in 20 African countries. And we want to make sure that they all see and learn about the journey and the hope that you give our people. Bill, you want to tell us where Mr. Cartwright is coming next week? You might be on mute. You got to unmute. Reverend Taylor.
Come down.
Reverend Taylor, he might not be. Sam, you want to tell us where we gonna be next week? We couldn't get Reverend Taylor. All right, both of y'all still on mute. Well, I make sure our network knows, but it's right across the street from Chicago State University on 95th Street. I want to say right by King Drive, but I might be off. Reverend Taylor and Sam know the exact address, but we'll clean that up, Mr. Cartwright, before you get here next Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to be there at Omar Sharif's site, and we're going to welcome Mr. Cartwright. We're going to buy the books. We're going to make sure all our people all over our network knows about it so we can support you, my brother. Any closing remarks?
Well, I really appreciate it. My time in Chicago was excellent. I've always been treated extraordinarily well, and I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody when I get down there. And let's just have some fun. Get excited. It'd be great to meet everybody.
Well, let's have some fun. And we do something called Name Your 4 Black Businesses. Book authors are Black entrepreneurs. So we want to be able to name you as one of the 4, meaning we bought the book as well. So I wanted to put that plug in for you. And I'll see you next week, God willing.
Yes, sir. We'll see everybody then.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, everyone. Because this was on YouTube, I'm going to end it, and then you guys can just come back. And Mr. Cartwright is he's at 11:30 his time, so he can go back on with the rest of his day.
It's lunchtime.
Thank you, guys. All right.